Alright, it's time for another episode of Empire at War. This is another tutorial out of here to help teach others how to play and enjoy this game a little bit more. As you see, we're starting off the second Empire mission here with Battle at Fondor. This one's going to be a little bit tough sometimes. Basically, what will end up happening is that you'll find out you have towers of civilians, of these wonderful humans, coming back and constantly attacking you and harassing you the whole way. However, there are a few options on dealing with this. Essentially, this is our objective: eliminate rebels again. These would be the sympathizers. They're very much troublemakers. Now, as you may recall from the Galactic Conquest, or the Galactic mode, we already positioned a couple of acclimators in orbit over this planet. So now we do have access to the bombing run. However, we gotta wait for it to count down. Off the top of my head, I don't remember how long that refresh rate is standard, but it comes up pretty quick. However, we're going to go ahead and stay in this pause mode here, and we're going to drop down Vader. And we're going to go ahead and drop down a set of stormtroopers as well. We're going to see how this balances out here. Notice I didn't drop down any TIE Maulers, just because the rebels have quite a plethora of missile troopers I've noticed on this map. From playing it a lot. We're going to go ahead, and this is how we're going to start out. We're going to start over here, and we're going to capture some build pads. I'm also going to go ahead and start binding these guys to their keys. So I've bound my stormtroopers to number 2, my ATSTs to number 3, and we should have some more stormtroopers here. There they are. These should be done by now. And now Vader's down. Again, it's easier to scout with Vader because he's able to take out multiple unit types with ease. So we're going to go ahead and move out. And as you see, this is really the only few that we seem to be worried about here. However, there are certain benefits to exploring beyond this. What we don't want these guys to do is start targeting our ATSTs. See, we're getting hit there, so we're going to go ahead and move out. Now, what we will do is we're going to go ahead and put those guys in cover. I'm going to send Vader over here. We're going to do a force crush on this T2B, and we're going to do a force push ahead anyway. Bring up the ATSTs, bringing up the troopers, and now I'm going to go ahead and work on this one. Oh, that may have been the wrong time to use that ability. But you see, however, we do have something in luck. Our bombing run is just about ready, and this could be close. Here it is. And in they'll come. And they came just in the nick of time. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Even if it is half-baked. Alrighty, so we're moving out again. Whoa! Vader's hurting pretty good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and back him off. Just a little bit. We're going to focus these guys on him. Now here we're going to use the barrage area because it tends to be effective against infantry. Use force crush on this one. As you see, we're already down a few units, so I'm going to take advantage of this, let's call it a broken feature of the AI. When one guy starts hurting too bad, it frees up another slot so you can go ahead and bring down more troops to replace him. However, this can be a hole, as you see that it's Vader that's hurting, and he's still pretty tough. And so now we're going to use this as an opportunity to bring in more enemies. We want to use our troopers here to take that guy down. Now that Vader's on it, they're free to go assault other objectives here. And we're going to go ahead and use these guys to assault him. CRATSTs are targeting the other vehicles because that's what they seem to be good at, because they're dealing with light vehicles. Here, once this thing gets done, we're going to recapture that and we're going to take it over as a healing station, because we're going to need that. This mission can always be kind of a pain and really, really difficult. It's important that, you know, if you start losing, just try not to get too frustrated, because you're going to be just impossibly outnumbered. You know what? He's already so close. Might be a few more minutes. We'll see here. He seems to be healing up pretty good. I forgot about the range on that sucker. Alrighty, now that's ready. There we go, and that'll help clear those guys out. Alrighty, we're going to take this other one, and as long as he gets close... I can't quite see it yet. I could guess, and it might possibly work in my favor, but it's not likely. You notice that we do have a terrain effect, or rather a weather effect in this case, and that means that there's a in this particular icon means there's a sandstorm, so I have 50% accuracy on missiles. Fortunately, I'm using lasers, and the Empire doesn't have much in the way of land missile weaponry. So fortunately for me, that doesn't affect me too much. You see, now that they've healed up, now I actually have 6 of 5. I had to bring those guys back out of cover so they keep moving up. Vader uses force push again, and now we're going to go ahead and take care of that building there. We're going to go ahead and we won't use that just yet. I do want to move these guys closer in, because what I don't want is for them to get hit in the rear by these guys. That might really make short work of them. Okay, again, another barrage area. And notice how they just chew those guys up. This is something they do exceptionally well. There we go. Alrighty, now it's important not to get too sidetracked on these missions here. We're going to go ahead and turn back around because we've wiped out all the buildings. As I recall, there's like a black market dealer or something over here that you can purchase upgrades for in the mission, but it's way out of the way, and very seldom will you need to go into this area, except it may be in Galactic Conquest when you have to come back. Now see, now we're going to be glad that we saved that, because they're going to come in and take care of that, where I might lose him. And it might have been a slight waste, because I could have just as easily used the ATSTs, but I'd rather keep those guys as full on health as possible. I'm going to go ahead and capture this point. We can use Vader to do that, and we'll have our grunts here do the dirty work here. And there they go. And it's important to remember here is if you're going to retreat... Oh, I forgot I brought these guys in. Hey, it's like Christmas. Alright, they'll be up there in a jiffy anyway. If you have to do a retreat, because it's always better to retreat and do a strategic withdrawal and save as many troops as as possible, because it's essentially going to wind up becoming a war of attrition in the end. And as long as the garrisons keep producing, their supplies are limitless. They don't have to pay for the production of the units here, so they lose nothing. You, however, are the assaulting force, and as such, you always have a weakness, and your weakness is always your supplies and your credits. But now it's time in and finish these guys off. As you see, we're taking a few hits from an anti-infantry turret over here. I don't really care for that too much. As I was saying, now, for retreating, or getting hit by rocket soldiers, obviously. There we go. As long as they're within this ring, when you retreat and click basically this button here, that means they'll be saved and taken up to orbit. Anything outside of one of these reinforcement points will end up dying, staying on the planet and dying. You can essentially think of it as the units protecting the withdrawal. You typically lose those guys. Alright. Oh! Vehicle turret. Alright, let's send the infantry in to take him out. These guys up here. Oh, and we got some Plex missile soldiers behind us, apparently. Go ahead and bring down... Yeah, I'll bring down another set of Maulers. I don't really care about that one too much. What I want to find is their barracks. And I believe, if I remember right from the video, or the intro rather, that's down to the south. Because, yes, exactly. Because that produces troops for their garrison, and I don't want that. This also does a little, as I remember right, also does that. Fortunately, I wasn't quick enough on my bombing run. However, I can rectify that. But it's just as easy just to come over here and do this. As you see, we've split these guys up a little bit, but that's going to be alright, because it's not really going to matter. I didn't quite hit that one just right. And the best part about TIE Maulers is that you can just run these guys over. There we go. And look, that just finished that one right up. And this is why manual control is so important over your units. Is because sometimes you just have to do things the hard way. Now, typically, the AI at the end almost always takes their troops and they start garrisoning bunkers, and it's kind of stupid because you have to sit here and hunt them down. As you can see, I think we only lost one stormtrooper squad. We'll see the results here in just a moment, one way or another. And there we go. And we are victorious. Alrighty, and let's take a look at the results here. Yes, I lost one stormtrooper versus 6 infantry, another set of Plex missile soldiers, and T-2B tanks. Now, this only shows what was actually built to garrison on the planet, not the actual garrison itself. So that's something to always consider, is that you often will end up killing a lot more than what it ever shows. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the other side.